All right. Welcome, welcome. Unboxing the Business on WBKS1radio.com. You've tuned in. You have myself, Patricia Collins, along with my co-host in the studio, Mr.
Jeffrey Dunn.
And on the line, we have with us
Luis de Laos.
Hey, Luis, try to talk a little louder for me so we can hear you good.
Okay, hold
All
on
right.
a second. Let me take my... Hello, can you hear me now?
We can hear you. It's a little low. Try to jump up there.
You got to pick it up a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Now it's a little better.
Yeah,
It's
much better. Much better. So we'd like to thank you all for tuning in for Unboxing the Business on WBKS1.com. It is our goal to bring you some of the top news and interesting stories and tools and resources in the business arena to help you, whether you're a startup, whether you're in a growth stage, whether you're looking to pull down those multi-million-dollar contracts. We want to be your resource. We want this to be the place where you come to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in business. And tonight we are coming to you, we're talking about Chamber of Commerce. Why, as a business owner, should you be thinking about joining a Chamber of Commerce? Should you join your local Chamber of Commerce? Should you join a Chamber of Commerce for the niche of your business? Or maybe it's a group of people that have something in common. You know, like the National Black Chamber of Commerce or the Hispanic Heritage Chamber of Commerce, or, you know, why should you be involved as a business owner with the Chamber of Commerce? And I have the two best people that can talk on this because both of my co-hosts have very extensive knowledge and experience in chambers. So.
Allow Luis. Why don't you start off, Luis?
Okay. You know, right now I'm the chairman of the board of directors of the statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And based on the membership, we have been selected as the largest chamber of commerce in the state 3 years in a row by NJBs. Now, why I think that the Chamber of Commerce is the support system that every business will access regardless the stage. If you are a startup, or if you are a established business, or if you are a big business. And the main reason is no matter the size of your business, no matter the size of your sales, or how many employees do you have, we always face challenges, right? And when we are by ourselves alone, it's more difficult for us to overcome those challenges. The Chamber of Commerce become that support system that would allow you to spend less time and money trying to solve those issues. The other thing is that when you belong to a Chamber of Commerce or a business association, you realize that you are not the only one that is facing those problems. Not in your industry, not in your town, not in the state. Many people will face the same problems. Now, unless we associate to each other and we try to solve those problems, we won't get the answer that we expect from the local government, from the county, from the state, and from the national level. That's the main reason, because I believe a Chamber of Commerce is the best resource for business owners.
Okay.
That's excellent. Excellent segue. My thought is that I want to add to that. The history of chambers is businesses coming together to work together to deal with the various issues of local commerce, local politics, resources, opportunity. But now, in today's day and time, it really pays to tie into regional chambers, statewide chambers, such as Luis's chamber, because bottom line, the small chambers no longer are, like I say, as effective. you need to tie into a regional or state so that you have even more access and more resources to tap into. But the main thing I want to say to you is you need to tap into a chamber that is basically someone that you can participate and give as well as receive. It's not about just paying dues. It's about you connecting. It's about you networking. It's about you contributing and being a part of the family. You are on a boat where everybody has a role. Everybody has to play a part, but you got to know what part that you play and how you can contribute. Because by each one teaching one, you can learn from the best practices of your members. But the key thing of a chamber is giving you access to resources or people or I could say government or contracts that you would not have access to by yourself. But with the collection and collective of a chamber, you now have the leverage to access resources that now you can tap into because you are part of the family. But the other thing I want to say to you is the chamber will also educate you in reference to the many things that you may need, such as cyber tools, such as where to get your website done, who has the, the best resources to tap you into the various certifications for government contracts, or who has information in regard to larger private sector contracts. A chamber is very similar to an association. It's truly an association of businesses, a diverse connection of businesses, small, large, medium. So I say to you, by you tying in with a chamber, you actually are joining an army that you can contribute and you can help work together, fight together, and prosper together.
So let me ask you too, with your experience with chambers, how effective is the chamber when it comes to advocating for, small businesses?
Big time. The key thing is you have to have somebody who really can speak on your behalf and not suffer the consequences. A chamber can advocate for you without being concerned of them being blacklisted. Okay? A chamber can ask the questions that an average business person can't ask without having some kickback or some problem from somebody who they have put on, under criticism publicly. Okay, government, you said you're going to give contracts. We haven't seen no contracts. Company, you said that you were going to open up opportunities to local businesses. We haven't seen anything. Who have you hired? What contracts have you had contracts with? See, a chamber can ask those very pointed questions that the average business can't. So what happens is by allowing the chamber to, again, speak on your behalf, you're able to get answers without you being concerned about you getting the, the repercussions of being the squeaky wheel.
What do you have to say about that, Luis?
I do agree. It's really important for, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes, it's really important for people to understand that part of the problem is that when we try to raise our voice, things become personal.
Yes.
Like people will single out us and say, this is Patricia against Luis. And the reality is that when we are in behalf of the chamber and when we are in behalf of a group of individuals, now is nothing personal. Is we have an agenda. We listed all the problems that the members provide to us, right? And if those problems are common for a number of businesses, we will be able to represent them, right? And we will be able to speak on their behalf. That simplifies the dialogue when you are trying to achieve something that is meaningful for a group of individuals. When you try to do everything on your own, the reality is that many people will just say, no, this is Steve versus John or Juan versus Pedro. But in reality, no, when we become, basically, we try to manage the agenda. We listed all the problems that we have. We prioritize them based on how many of our members are complaining about or express the same problem, right? And in our case, we talk about access to capital, access to new markets, and access to networks, right? Now, when you are running your business, it's really difficult for you to be able to close your business to attend a business function, a networking event, right? But when the chamber do that, that allow people to attend. And instead of you spending like time in 20 different individuals meeting, now you have access to a group of people that you have the opportunity to talk to it, right? And remember, networking has 3 steps: visibility, credibility, and profitability. Nothing happened overnight. And I mentioned this before. The chamber is like the gym. If you pay the membership and you never go and exercise yourself, you cannot expect to lose weight. You need to attend the meetings, and you also need to participate in the meetings, and you also need to follow up with the leads that the chamber generates for you.
And I want to invite you all to call in 646-233-1302 if you have questions about joining the chamber, how to find, make a decision about what chamber you should reach out to, that you should join, how would it affect your business. One key thing you said too, the purpose, or one of the purposes being about credibility. I can't think of a better reason that a maybe new business outside of being able to plug into the resources with somebody that's in the startup phase or someone that's in the growth phase of their business, why joining a chamber would be an excellent strategic move for them. And also for those that are looking to get the certain qualifications they need to be in the arena for some contracts, because there's opportunity out there created for different sectors if they have the right certifications. And I think a chamber could be key with, connecting you to those resources.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing too is a key thing with the chamber is people do business with people who they know, who they like, who they trust. And by you going to the meetings, you get to know people. You get to have conversations, and you get to like each other. And then from that, you can learn to trust each other. And again, people like to see you over and over and over again. And if they keep seeing you once and twice and 3 and 4 and 5, they say, you know what? This person is consistent. This person is coming, and basically they're meeting with the right people. They're talking to the right people. And a lot of times people just need to see, because people are watching you. They're watching to see how consistent you are. They're trying to see, reference to who do you know? And they're going to ask. They're going to talk. So a chamber makes a good point of reference. You get to know the right people who can basically put you in the right place. Business is always about who do you know. It's always about relationships. It's always about, again, giving as well as receiving. It is a mutualistic opportunity for you to share as well as to empower yourself as you empower others.
So do you see a lot of partnerships happening
Definitely.
in that networking space?
Definitely. I was saying to you a while ago in reference to the government contracts becoming so big that they got what called mega projects, which are projects over $1 billion, and giga projects, which is over $10 billion. When you have projects with over $1 billion and $10 billion, the smallest slice is in the millions. And therefore, it requires many small businesses to come together, cluster, so that they have capacity to take on these contracts. By themselves, they have no chance. But if they come together, they can come together as a cluster of many small, or you tie in with a big, however you see it. A lot of times you cannot do it by yourself. And even the larger firms, the larger companies, the multi-billion-dollar companies are partnering and joint venturing because, again, they don't want to take on the risk all by themselves. And why should they when they can partner with others? So, yes, it's a great opportunity to partner in joint venture.
So my thought is, if you're in the arena, you're in the space, you're networking with other businesses, and you're part of the chamber, it might be a little easier to vet who you're looking for to partner with.
Yes, because you can ask other people. Have you talked to this person? Have you done business with this person? What is their reputation? What is their track record? How long they've been in business? Do you know anybody who had bad experiences, good experience? Yes. Again, the chamber is where you go when you say, I need somebody to take care of this. Do you know somebody? That's when people come into town, they first come to a chamber and find out where are the businesses who do the various things that they may need.
So do you think that...
Yes.
Oh, go ahead, Luis.
Yes. No, I want a couple of things. One, the chamber is the place where you can go and meet people that look like you and think like you, right?
Yes.
But it's also a safe environment for you to be able to interact with people that doesn't necessarily look like you, but that you don't want to do business with, right? For example, in our case, we talk about how we can get to the general market, right? Because we cannot teach our members how to get to the Hispanic market because they have been doing that for many, many years, right? But in the same sense, we can teach other businesses that have really good products and services in how they can approach our community the right way, right? And I remember that I have this conversation probably 8 or 9 years ago with a lady that decided in I believe it's South River, and she decided not to provide services to the Hispanic community, right? Back then was not that many Hispanics, but she made that decision. That was the business decision that she made. Fast forward 20 years, more than 50% of the population on that specific town happened to be Hispanic. Now she owned the building, but she rented out to a Hispanic individual, and she's paying rent on another town close by, where she's trying to focus on the market that she really feels comfortable with. Basically, what I'm trying to share is that sometimes we don't realize that the demographic change in our town, in our county, or in our state, right? And if we want to continue to do business, we need to adjust. Look what happened in Trenton. It used to be a lot of Italian restaurants. Now, many of the restaurants are no longer in existence. And other communities came, and they are trying to feed their communities through the same restaurants that used to be open there.
Well, one thing's for sure, you do see a lot of transitions in terms of businesses in certain cities. And so, I mean, even talking about, the chamber, but even, focusing on business, how do you see it possibly being more of a melting pot as opposed to, some businesses you just see disappear?
I'm sorry, break it down a little more.
I would say, sometimes when a community changes, the demographics change.
Yes.
And some businesses just completely die out.
Mm-hmm.
As, and it's really to what the example you just gave, Luis, how being able to do business, even though the community may have changed, how do you connect with that group? Because you still have a service or.
Well, I would say is, again, say if you had, again, a predominantly Italian population, which basically evolves into a predominantly Latino population. If you had a chamber that was really active, there could be, again, someone who has an Italian restaurant actually sell their resources to a Latino person who wants to start a restaurant. And that's where the chamber could be very instrumental. Okay. The other thing too is that there could be a banker who can help finance the deal to make the deal go. It could be a lawyer who can help submit the legal aspects of that. It can be an accountant who can handle the accounting, and another person handle the taxes. So the chamber, if it's really all that it can be, it could be a great bridge to help that transition, to help that bridging of one population to the other. But again, a chamber is only as strong as its members. It's only as strong as the culture. But the key thing is, too many people depend on the leadership of the chamber to make things happen. They just pay their membership and they expect magic. No, it's about paying some money and then saying, what can I do? How can I help the chamber be bigger and stronger? How can I help them do the things I want to do? Now, my thing is, join a committee within the chamber that ties into what you do, and therefore you're contributing, but at the same time you're benefiting, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
That's part of the process. Luis, what do you think?
Yes. No, I just want to share with you that last week I attend one function with the consul from Ecuador, and I met a very prominent entrepreneur that have been in business for probably 20, 30 years. And he was explaining to us how every business that he started, like hit a specific crisis. Like he started with a jewelry store back in '85, and the crisis happened, and he was out of that business. After that, he started another business on another industry, and something similar happened. And after that, basically, he was on a, I will say, like a travel agency. And after September 11, look what happened with that industry, right? After that, he started sending like cargo to Ecuador, and something happened in Ecuador, and that changed. Now, basically, he was telling us that the ability that he has to adjust to a new reality allow him to be in business for a long period of time. And I think that the chamber can help you to identify those crises before happen and guide you through the crisis in how you can take advantage of the new reality, the demographics, the new economics, the new, many, many things, because just pay attention how many industries basically disappear, right? How many businesses completely change due to the online sales,
Right.
Those are the type of things that when we are together, it's easy for us to analyze, to discuss, to try to find an answer, right? When you belong to a chamber, you can bring someone who is very knowledgeable in a specific subject to discuss with you how that new reality can impact your business or your community, right? And I think that that's the best support system that you can have in order for you to understand what is happening. Many of us, we don't pay attention to the news, we don't read the newspaper, and all of a sudden something happened, and the natural market that we used to serve is no longer there, right?
Right.
Many people buy businesses because they are focused on a specific market, and the market disappear or change, right? Those are the type of things that you need to consider, and the chamber can allow you to figure it out.
Yeah, I see that as huge, because if you just even look back at the last 30 years, I mean, look at the music industry. I used to work in a record store. The kids today don't even know what that is, really, like a mom and pop record store. You're downloading music now. And it took a while for the music industry to recover from that, for even entertainers to recover from that, with people being able to get their music, basically, royalty free. Not having, they weren't making the income they were making. And then look at the big box stores. They come into a community, everybody's flocking to your local Walmart, and the small, community store is no longer where, people are stopping to purchase their goods. And so I just wonder, with the power of the chamber and the tools and resources and trainings that they could provide, why more small business owners don't take advantage of the chamber or don't know of its power. I wonder what type of outreach do chambers do to kind of say, hey, you need to plug in here.
Well, the other thing too, the thing with a chamber is that you have cousin chambers. So if you're a chamber of Central Jersey, you could also tap into the chamber of Northern Jersey or South Jersey. If you're the chamber of the Latino community, you could be tap into the chamber of the Asian community or the Black community. But you have to work that network. But the bottom line is, again, chambers have that network, but you have to know what you bring to the table. The other thing too is, by being tied into a chamber, and the larger the chamber, the more this works. Members of the chamber can go to events that you may not be able to go to, whether it be because of money, because of logistics, because of whatever. But bottom line, you can get the information or the report from your other members to inform you of what's happening. Okay, so chambers can be very valuable by, again, with the long arms and the tentacles that could be very valuable to you. But you have to know this. Again, it's not about you just paying the dues. You have to contribute in reference to some activity in some type of way so that you are making the chamber stronger, more resourceful. And again, the best way to do that is to ask your president, ask your leadership, what can I do? And then go from there.
You can't be shy.
Not at all. Okay, you shall.
No,
you
but
sh-
please,
Hey, Luis, I
I'm
want to say
sorry.
this. You shall reap what you sow. Is that right, Luis?
Yes. I know, and I want to tell you something, that one of the problems is, as a business owner, we will love to figure it out everything on our own, right? We don't want to depend on anybody. And that's part of being a business owner. Now, that works for many things that are related with with the type of product or service that you provide, right? But it's many other things that affect a business owner that on your own you won't be able to figure it out or to impact the decision, right? You can complain, you can go to Facebook and make a post and say, I don't like the minimum wage. This is killing me, right? But that doesn't necessarily help you to build a strong case in order for you to affect what is happening to your business or to many businesses, right? Now, the other activity that we do is we try to educate our members in how things get done, because many things that affect us doesn't happen overnight. You know, I remember 5 years or 6 years ago, I started working on something called the Secure Choice, and the bill just passed 5 years after, right? Now, many people look and say, no, this just happened. That was announced 5 years ago. Hey, 5 minutes ago. I said, no. You don't understand. This took 5 years to get into the legislature and to become a law by the governor. Sometimes we think that things happen that fast, and it's not the reality. If we know the impact that something will happen on us, we will be able to participate. We can go and testify in behalf of the community, but I cannot do it on behalf of my own interest, because nobody cares if my business is big or small, right? Usually they pay attention when we are representing enough people. That's when they answer our calls, our emails. That's when they have the opportunity to pay attention and say, okay, we better have this conversation now because this is affecting a lot of people.
There's power in your chamber of commerce. So if you're a small business owner, a business owner in the startup phase, the growth phase, or you're looking to pull down multi-million-dollar deals, we're talking about plugging into your chamber of commerce on the regional level, on the national level. And, you know, I don't want to abandon the local. I have seen some communities come together. So you may have one or two or more counties come together with their chamber of commerce because there's, you know, power in the numbers. And, you know, the kind of keeping your ear close to the street, the finding out the news that you need to know what's going to affect your business. It may come through that chamber first in your area.
True.
You know, what's
True.
coming down the pipe.
True. Your elected officials are going to talk to your chamber officers, your presidents, your vice presidents, and ask their opinion and basically give you access to information that will not be public for maybe weeks or months ahead of time. So you'll have insight because of your connections of your political leaders as well as your chamber leaders, basically having conversation, which is, again, somewhat kept close to the chest, but they will share with their members, and then it will go out to the public. So you have a competitive edge. But let me say, you cannot underestimate the significance of a large chamber. Luis's chamber is how many people, Luis?
4,500 members.
4,500. There's nothing small about that, and therefore there's a lot of opportunities to cluster and to joint venture and to partner. And that's a lot of information. If everybody just know 10 to 15 important people, multiply 10 times 4,500. That's 40,000 resources and contacts. And that's just each individual only knowing 10. And we know that all business people know more than 10. So I'm just trying to be conservative in reference to the compounding opportunity and power of an active, strong chamber who is politically savvy as well as, how can I say, efficient in reference to how it directs its members towards activities that are in the best interest of their business concerns.
Mm-hmm. And, we say that we are the voice of 120,000 Latino small business owners because we in some way, we represent most of them. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, the reality is that the importance of being represented is, as I said before, that is not personal. Is an association in behalf of all the members. Now, I think that I moved to the United States in 2004, and I started dealing with the chambers of commerce here in the States in 2008, 2009. Now, back then, we used to have only 500 members. That was when the financial crisis hit. And I remember trying to figure it out and new ways to move the chamber forward. And we realized that after the financial crisis, a lot of corporations decide not to support the chambers because they found an opportunity to save some money, right? But we changed the business model, and our business model is based on results, right? Many people that come, they want to try us first before they join, right? But when they see value or when they see results, they don't hesitate to try and to join us. Why? Because they realize that we are here trying to provide services that will help them to become better business owner. And in some cases, is to tell them that business opportunity is not the right time for you or is not the right fit for you, right? And try to figure it out because sometimes we have people that say, I eat a lot, I want to open a restaurant. That doesn't work that way, right? Or I really like to paint, but I never paint in my life, and I want to open an art gallery. There's no connection there, right?
Right.
Basically, being able to guide them through a process to evaluate if the business idea is appropriate or not, and teaching them how they can analyze other business opportunities. Because we have a lot of people that approach us every single day offering us, that unique opportunity. Don't tell anyone because this is the best business opportunity you ever heard. And sometimes you just need to evaluate that business idea through a process in order for you to figure it out that is not as good or as clever as you think.
Mm. Well, I definitely could see how a business owner could benefit from the network. From the network, particularly, we know that people who are starting businesses often don't make it past the first 5 years, often don't make it past the first year. And so I would see that as that joining your commerce, your chamber of commerce should be on your checklist after, even maybe before you put your sign out, because it brings such credibility. Everybody's big on reviews. They're big on your associations and your organizations as they're vetting whether they want to do business with you or not. And I'm just a little surprised that we don't see more talk and more business owners. Granted, the Chamber of Commerce is probably the largest business organization out there for businesses. It's been in effect 100 years.
True.
Somebody had great insight. Businesses need this type of support. But I've come across many business owners who have not moved forward with joining a chamber. Even myself as a business owner, I've just come in position to, get more information about joining a chamber. I found one that I want to align with. And I wonder if some of the reasons businesses don't join is the cost. what is the cost of Chamber of Commerce? What does it range? What is your experience with that? Jeff?
Well, the key thing with the chamber is what you need to evaluate is what is the value of the chamber to you? What is the value of the connections that it has? What is the value of its reach? Example, I'm an active member of the African American Chamber of Commerce, John Harmon, who really brought three chambers, African American chambers, the South, the Central, and the North, and made one. And then leverage that into with the larger corporate communities and say, listen, you're not giving us a handout. I'm giving you access to a community that is very loyal businesses. And again, and he uses Nielsen's African American Consumer Study, which talks about how African Americans are spending $1.5 trillion. And what's happening is this is not a report that Nielsen's doing out of social benefit. They're doing it because their clients who are paying them want to keep and maintain their market share of this African American community. And John breaks it down from a state point of view. You large corporations, you really need to pay attention in reference to how you can win this group over. And the same thing with Luis's chamber with the Latino. It's the exact same thing. The browning of America is very real.
It was very real.
And the situation is that the millennials are now past the situation where they are equal. They have passed where it is more people of color under, say, 25 and 30 than white. And that's huge. And by 2050, everybody will be, again, in a situation where the people of color will outnumber whites, and this will no longer be a white nation. So corporations who are smart are basically paying their dues literally with the chambers, connecting with them literally so that they can win them over and get that, like I say, that goodwill that is necessary so that the community can see them as a friend to those who look like them.
So it's not about the cost; it's
the
about
value.
the value.
And chambers need to push for what do they bring to the table. And again, some of the little small firms are saying, well, you're not really working and helping me. Well, my point of view is you need to look at it from a different point of view and say, Chamber, let me tell you how you as a large organization can leverage your power to help me. Now what you're doing is you're joining an organization and you're helping them and directing them to leverage their power to help you and your business. Stop asking how you're going to help me. Tell them how you're going to help them. And then basically, again, each one teach one. And with that, there is pure synergy.
I heard that.
Patricia, let me share something. It's very interesting because I always say that when you try to put a price or a tax price on a membership, it's very interesting how people react, right? But when people see the benefits and they understand that, depending on the size of your business or depending on the results, you can collaborate a little more. We have the experience of a member that started with $150, and after a few months, he increased to $500. And all of a sudden, we received a check, and we didn't figure it out why. And the reason was that he saw so much value and in the results and that he received through the activities that we have, that he decided to pay the largest membership, that is $5,000, just to support other members that they didn't have the ability to pay, right? And it's very interesting because, as I say, is sometimes people pay $150 and they only expect $150 in return, right? Because that's the value that that's the price that they see, right? But sometimes the value is bigger than you think. Is more than just a transaction. It's a lot of things that happen. I remember, as I mentioned earlier today, I came from Colombia, and the first networking event that I attended, I struggled. I was not able to communicate properly. I didn't have the knowledge, and I used to think, why, if I'm able to, if I have the knowledge and I'm able to communicate this in Spanish, why I don't have the same ability in English? And it took me a few years in order for me to be able to do that. But the network that I developed make a complete difference on my personal life and on my business life, right? I realized that in order for me to advance in this society, I need to step up my game to the requirements that people have here, right? And I remember going to the first few meetings and sounds so strong on my English and my accent, and that I thought that people understood what I say, and they didn't, right? And little by little, through the years, I was able to communicate. Remember, like I speak Spanish probably 90% of the time because many of our members, they will prefer to learn new subjects in Spanish, right? But it's very interesting because we, as minorities, we face the same problems. Access to capital is across all the ethnicities. Access to new markets that include how to sell to the general market or how to sell to the government at any level, municipal, county, state, and federal, is the same across all the communities. And networks, like we don't have enough network to have a support system that allow us to grow our business exponentially, right? And what I see in our communities, yes, the businesses start grow, but at some point just get stable, and that's it. Doesn't make more or less. It's just stable, right? And sometimes you need to understand what is your stage and how you can increase or move your business from existing business owner to a successful business owner. How to recruit more people, how to attract talent, how to retain talent. Those are the type of things that happen when you belong to an organization.
Yeah, good stuff. Because if you're looking to develop as a business owner, those resources and tools are key. You may be good at what you do with your business. So you repair bicycles. So your bicycle shop, you provide great service, or you detail vehicles. So you provide great service, but you may not be great at marketing. You may not know how to put up a decent Facebook post, or you may not know that your buyers really love Instagram and you're going to be able to go there and find them, or the car show, you need to be able to reach out to the people that are going to frequent that event. So I could see how the learning curve could definitely be shortened by aligning yourself with a Chamber of Commerce.
But also by you being tied into the Chamber of Commerce, you could be on their website, and basically you're getting the traffic of people who's just looking through the website, and they say, oh, I need a so-and-so and so-and-so, I need so-and-so. And just by association, by you just being on the Chamber website, you're getting business. Okay, that people who would not even come to you, people who would not even talk to you, people would not even know you exist if it was not for the Chamber website. Okay, the Chamber can basically give you visibility. Example would be the League of Municipalities, which is now in Atlantic City today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and basically the Chamber could direct you in reference to what events you should go to, what activities you should be involved in, people who you should be reaching out to. Meanwhile, your leadership is networking also, but you'll be seeing people, and then by your sheer association with a very strong chamber, that can give you access of credibility, because they may not know you, but they say, if you're tied to this chamber, you have some credibility because I know the president, and bottom line, I will ask him about you. Again, if you're an active member of the chamber, then your president will know you and can give you a reference that is good. But if you're a member of the chamber and all you do is paying membership, then bottom line, it is not likely that the president's going to remember you or even know you. Because why? Because you're not paying attention. You're not connecting the dots.
You definitely want to raise your hand and say, you see that hand in there that say, hey, what's up, to Steve, the producer. Okay. Well, this is do some chambers offer marketing sessions for members.
Definitely. There's plenty of workshops, plenty of marketing. There is cyber training, website development, on and on and on. A chamber really isn't a chamber unless it's educating their people. It's not just about opportunity, but it's also educating the businesses to be better businesses. Luis, I know that you guys have a number of activities in that direction.
Yes, we have 5 signature events through the year. Tomorrow we are having our hospitality fiesta at the League of Municipalities. And it's the only event that we do in the South because we know how many people will be there, and it's a way for us to serve the members that we have down there.
But when is that? When is that? And where is that? When and where is that tomorrow?
That's tomorrow evening at the Arts Garage in downtown Atlantic City. It's an art gallery, and we are expecting like 700 people. It's the only party that is the Notch Arts Garage, and start from 8 p.m. The cool thing about this is this happened through networking. We was planning on doing something, and it's very difficult to afford to do an event at the casinos, especially during the league, because everything is sold out, right?
Right.
Now, the reality was that we approached the mayor in one networking function. We met the mayor of Atlantic City, and we asked him, do you have a space that we can use where we can bring our own food and our own alcohol? We don't have a lot of money, and we don't know if we will be able to attract enough sponsors to do something at the lake. And he said, yes, why you don't come and tour this facility? And that was 5 years ago. And in 5 years, the party that we throw there became the party, because it's the only that is away from the casinos. And we have alcohol, we have food. The music is fantastic. And because it's an art gallery, every time that we got there is different, because the artists have different pieces. They exhibit those pieces, and many people will buy from them just because they go to the party, right? And it's very interesting. Those are the type of things that the chamber can do that will be very difficult for you to do on your own, at the personal level. Now, we have 2 classes. We have one that is called Hispanic Entrepreneur Training Class, that is 18 weeks in 15 weeks. And we have the Latinas Entrepreneur Training Series, that is 8 weeks. And basically, what we try to do with that is to evaluate, like if you own a business and you are doing well, we will do a test on all the pillars of your business: marketing, accounting, finance, branding, everything. And at the end of the class, we will provide you the feedback, right? Now, the class doesn't end the last day of the class. Is after the people graduate, if they attend 70% of the classes, they will get a one-to-one coaching for an entire year, and also they will be able to access the activities that we do, like the expos and like the convention and other activities, for free, because we believe that the knowledge that we share with them need to be tested, and they have the opportunity to come to our event, have a table, and put in practice what they learn: how to pitch your business, how to present your business, if they improve the marketing materials, if you, whatever they need to do. And I think that that's what have been helping us to provide results to our members, and in order for them to become our biggest ambassadors and cheerleaders, that now every year it's easy for us to attract new people, because people start telling other people, like, you know what, I improved this. Look, my business used to be sell 100, now it's selling 150, 200, 300.
Phenomenal. So tomorrow, if you're in the area. This event, Luis, is business networking while enjoying a night of celebration during the League of Municipalities Conference in Atlantic City, celebrating our diversity. Come and have a great night with the who's who of New Jersey's public and private sector. It's a free event, but you need to RSVP. It's the Atlantic City Hospitality Fiesta 2019.
Yes, that's the one. And remember, it's free for the attendees because somebody's paying for it, right?
Right. You have some great sponsors here. Let me just
Yes.
acknowledge your sponsors. So the Bergen Community College and Fuse,
Yes.
Collaborative Workspace for Entrepreneurs, the Institute of Business Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what I like is that you're tying the arts into that as well, giving some exposure to artists who are also small business owners in the creative arena.
Yes, and it's very interesting because, you don't think that art is, many artists doesn't consider entrepreneurs, but many of them, they do very well just because people are able to buy what they produce, right? And that's when you realize that it's important to get some like business subjects into art, because unless you can sell the art, it's not becoming like a main street.
Yeah, you don't want to be a starving artist, that's for sure. Well, look, we're about to
Yes.
wrap it up. I mean, we've had a great night talking about Chamber of Commerce. We're going to be bringing you more topics geared for business owners, small business owners in the middle, in the upper, the upper levels. We have something for everybody when you're talking about business in the business world. Just wrapping up talking about chambers, we brought some information about why you want to align yourself with the chamber, the purpose of what chambers, what they do, how they can help you. They bring you credibility. They can tie you in, help you with your marketing, your promotion. They definitely can help you network and build relationships, put you in the room with those that might be able to partner with you, and also, advocate for you on the levels of being able to change legislation, bringing about a movement, things to help you in your business. So definitely you want to seek out your Chamber of Commerce, whether you want to go local, regional, or state, or find a chamber in your niche. So check us out on next Monday. We'll be back to back next week, and we're going to be talking about Small Business Saturday and really trying to get our finger on the pulse of small businesses in communities and cities and how they need to take advantage. Black Friday is huge, but what about the stores where you live? If you're not supporting businesses in your community, they're going to die. And your downtown areas are going to be desolate. And so join us as we begin that conversation next Monday. Any closing words?
Yeah. The African American Chamber of Commerce is giving their second annual Party with a Purpose at the Hard Rock Cafe from 3 to 6 tomorrow. Again, the Hard Rock Cafe, 3 to 6, the second annual Party with a Purpose, African American Chamber of Commerce. So
you can get your party started early.
Yeah, and then go. That's right. Get it started. So again, come here, then go there, and network and connect and be an active member.
Mm-hmm. Luis, any closing words?
Yes. No. This is the Veterans Day month, but in reality, we need to celebrate every single day is a Veteran Day. And I want to give a shout out to the New Jersey State Veteran Chamber of Commerce, because they are doing a great work helping veteran business owners. And there's many African Americans that are also veterans. We have a lot of Latinos that are also veterans, and they also deserve our support. I'm very grateful for veterans, because when things didn't work out that well in Colombia, the only safe place that we found was the United States. And thanks to the veterans, we find the best place to have kids and start our family.
Amen.
Yes. I mean, I couldn't say it better myself. And definitely want to acknowledge the veterans. I want to say hello to our producer, Steve Rims, in the building. I want to thank those that tuned in tonight. Definitely keep tuning in. You're going to see more. You're going to get more resources and information from us. We look forward to bringing you the best of the best in the world of business. So keep it locked, BKS1 Radio, where your voice matters. And we will see you guys next week. So tune in.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep. Send me Luis's things. Send it to me.